is Thais Azevedo. I am a solicitor here at McGrath McGrane Solicitors, and a few weeks ago I opened a questions box on my Instagram page, and we got many interesting questions, and we are lucky to have Brian McGrane here with us today. He is a founding partner at McGrath McGrane with over 20 years of experience in family law. Hello Brian, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for the introduction. So Thais has asked me to deal with some of the queries which we've received on the Instagram page relating to family law. So I have been practicing family law for over 20 years with McGrath McGrane. One of the founding partners founded the practice in 1999 with Jared McGrath, and things have gone well and we've expanded, and we're just basically going to address the questions that the Brazilian client base have sent in to Thais on her Instagram page. So Thais, if you want to start there.
So we have selected a few questions, 7 questions, and we are hoping to answer them today. So the first question is there any legal aid or any provision that benefit people not paying legal fees in family law claims?
So in relation to your family law bill, there is legal aid available. This is means tested. So depending on your income and your resources, you may be eligible to obtain legal aid. And you can apply to your legal aid centre, or you can apply online to see whether or not you can have the benefit of legal aid for your family law proceedings. So that would cover judicial separation, divorces, custody and access, and maintenance. So you can contact your legal aid centre to see if you're eligible for legal aid.
And the second question is actually related to the first one. So are there any legal costs in court in family law claims? And when a party wins a family law claim, the other party has to pay any legal fees or costs to the winning party?
So actually in our legal aid system, in our family law system, it's a no blame system.
Okay.
So in a civil action, if you win your case, generally you will get an order for your costs. Mm-hmm. But in family law proceedings, each party generally is responsible for paying their own legal costs. So it's not a situation where you win your family law case and you get an order to recover your costs as well. That generally will not apply in family law proceedings.
Okay, that's really helpful. Actually, we got more than 2 questions in relation to this subject, so it's really helpful. The third one is, in Ireland, is it possible to apply for a divorce straight away, or is there a minimum waiting time that the couple needs to stay separated?
No, you cannot apply straight away. Our system requires that you must live apart for at least 2 of the previous 3 years before you apply for your divorce. Okay. It previously had been a longer period. That's changed in 2019. But one should bear in mind, living apart can be done in the same house. Okay. So if you can demonstrate that even if you are in the same house, that you're not in an intimate and committed relationship with your spouse, that can be counted as still living separately.
The next one is, in Ireland, are there any matrimonial property regimes? For example, in Brazil, we have separation of property, partial community property, and full community property. Is there this distinction in Ireland?
No.
No, okay.
No.
So.
And I think there's another question there, which is obviously from our Brazilian audience.
Yes.
Is there such a thing as a preliminary divorce?
Yeah.
And no, there isn't. So you issue your divorce proceedings here, ultimately get your final divorce decree, and that will deal with all matters including property, maintenance, access, custody, pensions.
So before the wedding, there are no agreements between the spouses in relation to their property. That's what we are doing in Brazil, for example.
Okay, are you talking about a prenuptial agreement?
Yeah, maybe.
There can be. Whether or not they're enforceable and recognisable by the courts, very much up in the air.
Okay.
So there's no guarantee, even if you enter into a prenuptial agreement, that it will be upheld by a court.
Perfect. Yeah, understand. And the next one is, if the person is unemployed, does that exempt him from paying alimony?
So I think obviously the phrase from Brazil is alimony. Here we call it maintenance. So this is where one spouse applies to have payment from the other in relation to their upkeep or maybe upkeep for their children. There's no definite exemption because it will depend on what resources somebody has. So even if somebody is employed, if they have assets, a court may well look at their assets and their resources and say, well, you're still able to pay maintenance to the spouse. So there isn't a definite situation that if I'm unemployed, I definitely won't have a maintenance order made against me.
Okay, depends on the circumstances.
Absolutely.
Okay. The next question is, what are the criteria used to establish the amount of alimony or maintenance?
Okay. So again, that's a question related to maintenance, where someone is looking for a contribution from the spouse in relation to themselves or in relation to the children of the marriage. Generally, the court will look at someone's ability to pay maintenance. So they will look at their income, they will look at their resources, they will also look at their financial commitments. So if that person already has financial commitments in relation to rent or mortgages, and taking all the outgoings into consideration, and then decide what they feel is appropriate. But a court will generally not make an order where they think there's no reasonable possibility the person has the ability to pay. And again, one has to bear in mind, it's a no-fault system. So it's not as if it's used as a punishment or anything like that. That just doesn't come
blame.
into it.
Okay.
No blame.
Perfect. And the last one, do I need a solicitor to get a divorce in Ireland?
So as a solicitor, what am I going to say?
You do?
No, you don't. You don't have to have a solicitor for your family law proceedings. You can institute the proceedings yourself. But I would say it's difficult and stressful, and one would be concerned that if you are a lay litigant, which is the phrase that we use where someone is representing themselves, you mightn't get all of your entitlements because you don't know about your entitlements. So I think generally speaking, you're better off instructing a solicitor to act for you to get the best result that you can.
Okay. And lastly, if someone is watching you right now and want to reach you to make a consultation, how can they contact you?
You can, you can contact the office on 018735012, or my direct email is bmcgrane, that's BMCGRANE at McGrath
Thanks very much, Brian, for answering these questions, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like, please share with your friends, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.